Come on. One more. Yeah. Curtis, I just saved your life. I just caught an Ekans. Ekans are poisonous. Look. Coming to you pre-tape from the Best Coast Show studios. This is the Best Coast Show. I'm your host, Albert Aguilera. That's my producer, Curtis Stage. Curtis.
This could... Whoa, my phone. Wait, Snapchat's going on. Wait, do I have a Pokemon Go going on here?
We have to keep all this stuff active because we're about to go into trade season.
Yeah.
And the trade
there could be a trade. There could be a
trade
alert.
could have just happened.
It could be an alert.
What's the alert?
There's no alert.
Oh, you got to turn your phone off when you're in the studio.
That was Dave. It was actually Dave texting me. Show starting.
The social media coordinator, Dave started. Over there, telling us that the show's starting.
Thanks, Dave.
What he did there, he just showed that you're a bad producer because you leave your phone on while we're recording.
Yeah, that was true.
It's like when you go to the movies. You got to turn off the stuff. Guys, I'm going to step away from the Best Coast Show for a second here and let you know that I talk a lot. And when I go to the movies, I shut the fuck up. When you go to the movies, go in there, shut the fuck up, put away your phone.
Yeah.
I don't want to see the glare of your phone because that shit enrages me, and it did so last week.
Yes.
But let's get back to Best Coast Show.
Let's do this.
Let's do the rundown because it's trade season time, and we're going to talk about the Dodgers. What's the rundown?
We have a Dodgers episode.
We do have a
Dodgers episode. So it is trade season. We're going to talk about that. Dodgers are 53-42. We're second in the West, four and a half behind the Giants. We're first in the wild card, though, which is good by a good amount. One game, two. Okay, all right. Bullpen is
awesome
actually
now.
Good. So we'll talk about that. We are starting to go back on the DL again. This is a real problem.
Not the download, but the disabled list.
Yeah, disabled list.
Make that clear.
Yasmani's hitting, as well as some of the other players are hitting. Turner's starting to turn around. But let's get started with. Should we start with trade talks, or should we just?
Fuck it. Let's do trades first. We're going to do trades last, but let's do trades first.
Let's do trades first.
All right, guys. I've been saying the whole let's trade Yasiel Puig for 3 years now.
Pretty much.
Since a month after he came up, and I was kind of like, all right, we got to trade this guy while people still think he's good.
Yeah.
Now, in my opinion, the December 2014 winter meetings was when I felt we should have traded him. That's where he was at his peak value, and people were just like, oh man, this guy's so great. And I was like, good. People think he's good. Get rid of him.
Yeah.
Get rid of him.
You saw the writing on the wall.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. I've called every single one, have I not? And then when I was wrong about D. Gordon, I came on the show and I publicly apologized about wanting to trade him, and then that motherfucker popped for PED,
Yeah.
So then I took back my apology.
I'd still take D. Gordon, though.
You take him back?
Yeah, I'd take him back.
Because you like cheaters on your team?
No.
You like cheaters? That's what it sounds like to me.
So let's talk about this. So you want to trade Puig. We've been talking about that for a while. Puig is a mediocre
hitter.
I mean, he's average to below average for a right fielder. The right fielder is usually your power position in the outfield.
Hold right there.
Isn't it?
Every position is the power position. I
think right field is.
That's fucking stupid. Everyone says, oh, you need power out of your first baseman. Oh, power out of your third baseman. Your corner outfielders need to have power.
We need them all to have power.
All of your outfielders need to have power. I think the only positions that people talk about not being power,
second base,
power
shortstop.
position, shortstop, the catcher, the second baseman, and the pitcher.
Okay.
And it's like, so what you're telling me is that everyone on your team needs to be hitting 35 bombs with the exception of your pitcher and middle infielders.
I get that. So Puig has the power level of a second baseman, essentially. And he's going to be a 260 career hitter. We've talked shit about him so far for the year on our show.
Mark McGwire was like a 260 career hitter, but he was on roids and he hit a ton of bombs.
He drove in a lot of runs too. So the key is right now we can get some... Puig has value because his contract's so good.
Right.
And so who do we see? Which team do we see? What are we going to get for him? We lose an outfielder if we trade Puig, although we've got Thompson. He's on the DL, right? Or is he just hurt? He's not on the DL technically, but he's just hurt. Or is he on the DL?
Well, I think eventually I don't know if he is, but when he does, I'm pretty sure they'll make him retroactive to the day that they pulled him.
Okay. So we got Thompson, we got Peterson. Howie's been doing great as far as I'm concerned in left field. He's turned it around. He's turned it around.
He's doing better.
Okay, he's doing better. He's turned it around. Could that outfield do it this year? Could that get us to the World Series?
No.
So we need another outfielder.
Yes.
Especially if we trade Puig.
Well, and Andre Ethier's still hurt, and I don't think he's going to come back and do much.
I don't know that we're going to have Andre Ethier
Here's
to the level that we want him
Geeks,
to be.
The Geeks value the defense more than anything, and Yasiel Puig plays great in right field defensively, and you can argue he's got the best arm in the outfield in all of Major League Baseball.
Great.
But where his value lies in terms of trading him is, like you said earlier, is in his contract. He's young, and he's under team control through the end of the 2018 season. He's making $6 million next year, $7 million the year after that. Yeah. So you can trade him to anybody, any small market team, and Tampa's on their way here in 2 weeks.
Yes.
You can trade him to any small market team, and they're going to be like, oh, we can control this guy who is a great outfielder, but number 7 hitter for the next 2.5 seasons when they can flip him somewhere else.
Yeah. I could see Tampa Bay biting on Puig primarily because of the Florida being so close to Cuba, having that kind of Cuban connection.
He would get in so much trouble being out there.
He probably would get in a lot of trouble out there. But he'd be a good marketing piece for that franchise.
You got to put asses in the seats.
Yeah, and people don't go to those games. If you put Puig out there, I think people would get excited about Puig. Who, we want to get Chris Archer from the Rays. That he's a legitimate number one, future number one guy. He's quite possibly a Kershaw, a replacement. Don't
say that. That's blasphemous.
I'm just saying.
Don't say that.
We'll get to the Kershaw.
You mean he's a potential fill-in for Clayton?
He's a number one.
The great Kershaw.
He's a number one. But
don't say he's a
number
replacement.
2. Well,
I'm going to fire you. That's
we might be replacing Kershaw
I was about to fire Dave over there because Dave told me he's on Team Valor and not Team Mystic. And it's Pokemon talk.
Pokemon stuff?
It's Pokemon stuff, yes.
My wife calls it Pokemon. Is that bad?
Yeah, a lot of adults call it Pokemon. Let me rephrase that. People who were adults when I was a child refer to it as Pokemon.
Yeah, I don't even know what a Pokemon is.
It's a pocket monster.
Okay, is that the Pokey? Is the T is?
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Yes.
All right.
Anyways,
all right.
Blasphemous talk. Do not speak poorly of Clayton Kershaw, sir.
Well, we'll get to Kershaw in a minute, but we need do we need another starting pitcher? We have 12 pitchers.
Yes, we have 12 pitchers. No, look, what's his face? Okay, so Kershaw's on the DL. Rue just went back on the DL. Yeah. Alex Wood is on the DL.
Yeah. But he's coming off.
He's coming off. What's his face?
Anderson's coming off.
4 of the 5 pitchers that were supposed to start the season with us are currently on the DL. McCarthy just came back, and he's doing exceptionally well.
Yeah.
Granted, he's only thrown 16 innings in 3 starts.
He's looked good.
But he's looked
really
very good. I just don't think they're trying to push his arm right now. No. And Dave Roberts won't let anybody pitch past the fucking 6th inning, that dick.
Well, no, Kazmir went past 6 yesterday.
Well, it's because Kazmir finally stopped giving up home runs every other inning.
True. Kazmir's been looking good.
Because his thumb is better.
Yeah, Kazmir's looking good. McCarthy's looking good. Maeda, I think the season's catching up to him a tad. He's given up 4-5 runs a game, so that's a little bit troublesome there. Maeda's turning into a number 3 or number 4 pitcher when we thought he was a number 2. So not having Ryu come back, that's going to be a tough one. We need another. So we need what about a bullpen? I mean, we got the best bullpen in baseball right now.
Yeah, and people get upset when I say that on the internet. They're like, "Oh, you guys don't have the best bullpen." I was like, "It may not be the sexiest bullpen, but it gets the job done."
Not with Chris Hatcher in there.
Well, right. I mean, but Liberatore came out of nowhere. The guy's got an ERA of 0.5.
I know.
He came out of nowhere.
Casey Fiend, by the way, just went on the DL too. He was lights out in the pen, and I'm really bummed about Casey Fiend going in.
And it's okay because right now, statistically,
not okay. We got to bring Hatcher in.
Statistically, we have the best bullpen in all of baseball. We have the lowest batting average against, and the BABIP is there as well. So this bullpen that we criticized for the first half of the season,
they were terrible.
They weren't terrible. But
they were bad.
They weren't. No.
Baez and Hatcher.
No, Baez is legit in a non-pressure situation, which I know sounds completely stupid. You can't put him in a clutch situation. You put him in a hold situation, he's good. Put him in a, dude, you got to get us out of this jam situation. He crumbles like
there's a home run.
Correct. So
when can we put Hatcher in?
Never.
In any situation.
I know when. When, like, it's one of those blowout games when you're up by 18 or down by 18.
They were up 7-1.
And the backup catcher comes in.
Yeah, they were up 7-1 yesterday against the Nationals, and he comes in, doesn't get anybody out, and gives up 3 runs. It's like, dude, why did you let them back in the game? I mean, we won the game, but it's like, as soon as he came in, I was like, okay, this isn't going to go well. I always say this isn't going to go well.
Maybe Dave Roberts likes to make things interesting. He understands that it's a stadium full of people paying for the admission, and they need some excitement.
Okay, got it. Because
people were... Well, maybe he was giving the fans out in Washington, like, oh, hey, let's fuck with these guys. Let's give them a little hope, and then rip the game back from them.
All right.
That could be what Dave Roberts is doing. But the bullpen's woes, like we've talked about before, they get amplified by the fact that we can't hit for shit. So, they're going out there, they give up a run, and suddenly that run was the tying run, or that one run was the leading run.
Yes. So... do we need another bullpen arm as well? I mean, do we need three things? I think we need
a starting pitcher. We need a bat to protect Gonzo in the lineup, and we need someone else in the bullpen so that we don't destroy Liberatore's arm or Jansen.
Well, could that person be Alex Wood? Could we move Wood?
He's on the DL too.
But he's coming off of it.
Yeah, but you don't know how soon, and you don't know how well he's going to do when he comes back.
We need August, September bullpen help. So Wood can move to the bullpen. That would be, we've always said.
I don't think they'll let him do that.
What about Bolsinger in the bullpen?
Bolsinger might go to the bullpen in the event that he's needed to, but I don't think they'll do that to Alex Wood because Alex Wood has done very well. In the last 4 or 5 starts, he no longer was Jekyll and Hyde home and away guy. He was like legit going out there and
for 4 innings. So that's bullpen. That's good bullpen material late in the season. Okay, we need a legitimate bat. We've heard rumors that Friedman is talking about that we are going to make a splash in this free agency or go for a big. This is going to be not just a kind of a fill in the gap.
They should have made that splash fucking last year when Cueto was on the market. Even though I don't want Cueto,
I still want Cueto.
I'm not. Listen, guys, I'm not going to backtrack.
He's going to win the Cy Young now.
No, he's not. I'm not going to backtrack and be like, I regret not going after him because I still didn't want to go after him last year. I'm not going to go back and be all like, Monday morning quarterback. I still didn't want him, so I'm not going to pretend like I did and change my mind.
You don't like the second best pitcher in the National League.
David Price was available last year.
Yes.
Cole Hamels was available last year. The big splash would have been last year, but we did not splash. Instead, we picked up Wood, and then we picked up Johnson, who left his Dodger career with an ERA of 56.
And Matt Latos.
Oh, and Cat Latos, yeah.
Yeah, Cat Latos.
Cat Latos.
The problem is that we don't have a deep, kind of market for starting pitchers. We have a pretty good deep market for relief pitchers, but not starters. If we want somebody like Rich Hill or, just these kind of has-been guys. The only thing, maybe they could trade for Sonny Gray, who I love, or Chris Archer, who I love.
I think Sonny Gray would be a large price tag, not because of the value.
So Archer.
Yeah, but not because of the price tag he is, but because of the way Billy Beane does things and how they're a small market team and they're going to require. Every year the A's, when they're in contention, they trade away that one awesome guy they have, but they trade him away for the multiple farmhands, right?
Yeah.
And then they kind of rebuild again, and then they trade everybody away, and that's the recycling system that he has up there.
I'm afraid that's going to start happening with our team. Possibly.
Yes and no, because remember, Friedman has all the money in the world. So what the Dodgers have done in trade since Friedman took over is they have that player whose name is Cash Money, and they always apply him to deals.
I like that player.
Yeah, Cash Money is great because Cash Money will go to any team. He's got a no-trade clause to nobody.
Yeah.
He will go internationally if he needs to. And it doesn't matter. I could sit here and I could tell you about the most logistical trade possible, right? I can tell you that straight up 1-for-1 player A can go to player B and they can both go to team C, but that's not how Friedman and Zaidi work.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, and he said it himself. He goes, if there's a player out there, we're going to be active and understand that if any trades are going down, we're going to be involved. Yeah. And we know that he's going to get 7 teams involved and 17 players and cash considerations, and we're going to eat money. Oh, and that player that is destroying your team's payroll right now because he's on the DL and he had Tommy John surgery. We'll take him too, just so that you guys can give us that one blue chip prospect and that guy over there. And that's a lot of what he does.
So do we want Chapman back? We had him in our clutches.
I know we had him in our clutches, but that's kind of dicey. And it's because it's like the whole Slava Voinov thing. It's like you're really good at what you do, but you have domestic violence hanging over you. And those aren't the kind of guys. You look at the Dodger clubhouse. Yeah, you look at the Dodger clubhouse.
It's good
and
now.
These guys are always smiling. They're always laughing. They're always on social media. They hang out together. And then suddenly you bring in a guy. I don't know Chapman in any degree, but you kind of strike me as being some kind of a scumbag if you're out there committing domestic violence. Yeah. And that's why the Dodgers let him go in the first place. We had him, and they're like, oh, yeah, no.
Yeah. We don't need to add this to our clubhouse. So then there's Andrew Miller, who would be amazing to set up Kenley Jansen. I mean, we would win a lot of games, close games at the end of the season with Andrew Miller.
But I mean,
back there.
just thank God that Blanton became the setup guy, and this dude's been solid for us this year.
Here's my thing about Miller or Chapman or going for any other closer is that we may need to do that because there's no guarantee that Jansen's going to re-sign with us next year.
Right. I honestly don't think that he will. The Dodgers are treating him the way they did the Greinke thing, where they're just like, hey, if you want, we can negotiate, but we won't do it until after the season.
Yeah, well, that's what should happen.
He's the best closer that the Dodgers have ever had. He beat Eric Gagne's career save record for the Dodgers, and he's got a microscopic ERA.
And not on PEDs. Allegedly.
Okay. Well, I don't want to say allegedly.
Even not allegedly, because I think
I don't want to say that
Gagne admitted
allegedly
to it.
because, he admitted to it. So, why haven't they extended him? Why didn't they extend him this last fall?
I don't know. I mean, he's the first. Because
the Dodgers have dialed back on the spending part with the signings.
I think relievers, it's tough to spend a lot of money for a long time on relievers. Pitchers in general, it's tough to. Look how many we got in the DL.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's tough to give him that money. So that's why I think that they may be in the market for a closer this year that's under contract.
And then take over.
Next year for Jansen if we lose him. We may not lose him, but if we lose him, then you got two closers. You got a setup guy and a closer, and then you got that strength at the end of the season when everybody's getting tired in the bullpen, and they're already tired, but they're going to get more tired in late August, early September, and we need to have another arm out there. I mean, almost maybe more than a starting pitcher, unless Kershaw goes down completely. If he shut down, what does indefinitely mean?
Indefinitely just means, hey, my back hurts right now.
Is indefinitely good or bad?
It's bad because there's no timetable, right? Where it's kind of like, hey, I have I don't know. You know for a fact you break your finger, you're out 6 weeks. Like there's a set timetable, but he's got a strain in his back. That strain could be 3 days. This strain could be 3 months. And I don't want to rush him back the way Kazmir was like, oh yeah, my pitching hand, my thumb that's fucked up. Let me continue to play.
Yeah.
So he threw a bullpen session, a simulated game on Saturday. He said, look, I don't feel too well on Sunday. I'm a little sore. So I would be like, Kershaw, dude,
shut it down.
Go shut it down.
Jacuzzi time.
Jacuzzi time. Ice bath. Jacuzzi time. Get on that thing where that old man says, hey, I'm 70 years old. And then he hops in the air to show you that his traction machine works.
Nice.
You got to stretch your back.
Some acupuncture.
Whatever. Those hot things that will create suction on your back.
Kobe had that Chinese lady. She used to sit right behind Kobe at the bench.
With the shades.
She sat right behind Kobe on the bench for years. Nobody knew who she was. Kobe's personal assistant for his body. We need that for Kershaw. We need her.
Kobe won championships with her.
She's available.
And Kobe won championships with her.
So,
but I would tell any of my athletes that have ailments, shut that shit down. Especially when we're paying you $270 million. Shut that shit down. Relax. Hit the jacuzzi, bro.
The Cy Young's out the window. You know this now.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
If he's done for another month.
Oh, for another month.
Let's say he misses 5 more starts. He's done. He won't get the Cy Young.
He'll still get the ERA title though.
Great. That's good. That's okay. But, we want the World Series, but it'd be nice I'm always rooting for Kershaw to win a Cy Young. But who's going to get it? Cueto.
It sounds like you want him to go down for the rest of the year.
I don't want him to go down.
That's what it sounds like.
What it sounds like is I want the Dodgers to get
Let's not talk about Cueto.
That's... I'm worried that we're not going to get a frontline pitcher here. And it needs to be Chris Archer,
legitimately,
Sonny Gray.
we need a number 1, number 2 because we need that second guy in the playoffs.
Can we pry Chris Sale out of the White Sox? Would they be dumb enough to trade with us again? We got Trace Thompson from them.
Chris Sale, they're 9 games out in the Central.
Yeah.
They're not going to make the playoffs, and I know mathematically they're still in it, but they're not going to make
Indians are too good.
The Indians are good, and Detroit's good. They're not going to make the playoffs, okay? Yeah. And he's the best pitcher in the American League. He can... What's the price tag? Chicago is not a team that's micro budget the way the A's and Tampa Bay are. So they'll want pitching in exchange. They might get cash considerations, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, De Leon and Urias."
Yeah, no, that's not happening.
Or Urias.
Yeah. We got it. He's coming back up. He's pitching,
coming back up,
which I'm excited about because we thought he was done.
But Tampa's in town. What about Longoria? People were talking about, hey, maybe on Monday night, Longoria plays third base for Tampa, and then on Tuesday, he plays it for the Dodgers. You remember when we acquired Garland from the Diamondbacks?
Yeah. He was switched.
Yeah.
Switched locker rooms. You know, the thing is, Evan Longoria is tearing it up this year. He's having a great season.
He's 30 years old. He's under control for the next 6 years.
He's a Cal State Long Beach dirtbag.
Oh, I thought you were calling him like an actual dirtbag. I was trying to think of, wait, has he ever committed domestic violence?
No, he's a Cal State Long Beach dirtbag.
Longoria strikes me as a really nice guy.
He's a dirtbag. I love him. So since he's a
dirtbag.
dirtbag.
Disclaimer, dirtbag is the name for the Long Beach State baseball team.
Yeah, that's their nickname.
All right, so
and
that's
I'm a Long Beach alum, so
that's the disclaimer because Evan Longoria, from what I understand, because you threw me off there, from what I understand, Evan Longoria is a decent human being.
Yes, not a dirtbag, but in real life. But the thing is what do we do with Justin Turner? He's starting to catch fire. And he's one of the hottest hitters in the National League.
He's a clubhouse guy, and the fans like the red beard.
The fans love the red beard. He may be the most important clubhouse guy. I mean, I think he's the unifying factor in that clubhouse.
I mean, he can play. He can play
second,
but you have the Silver Fox.
The Silver Fox,
and he's got the Heart and Hustle Award.
Wait a minute, let's time out. How does the oldest damn player in your team get the Heart and Hustle Award?
Because he's old school. Old school and old timey people. They know grit. They know hard work, and he's just. You see him. You know who Chase Utley is? Chase Utley is the angry old man who hoses down the kids who are playing Pokemon on his lawn.
Yes.
And he's like, hey, you fucking kids, get out of here. There's no Pokemon around here. And he hoses them down. Next time it's going to be a shotgun.
Well,
that's Chase Utley.
Okay, good. I can admit I was wrong about Chase. Last year, I was wrong about him. I'm glad we got him. He's like having another coach out there.
Oh, we're making the Silver Fox t-shirts.
Yes, we are.
Tell the people.
We're making I designed some Silver Fox t-shirts. Maybe we'll show them right here. Maybe a little graphic there above Albert's shoulder or above mine right there. I think right there. That'd be good. So those are going to be coming out soon. So that's exciting.
Yes.
We're going to have some King stuff
because
too.
Our website. Yeah, guys, we didn't tell you. So our 1-year anniversary is coming up in like 3 weeks or something.
Yeah.
And we're launching a website. And you saw that we posted stuff out about we're hiring writers because we are hiring. Like we're paying you. We're giving you U.S. dollars in exchange for your articles because you should get paid for your work because you should.
Yeah. Even though we're not getting paid.
Yeah, even though we don't get paid to do this. This all comes out of my pocket.
The love of.
We do it for the love of Los Angeles. Thank you very much.
Yes.
But our website's coming out next month, so be on the lookout for that. Silver Fox t-shirt. We're going to have the merch shop, but Curtis is coming up with some designs. But let's go back to the Grit, Heart, and Hustle Award over here, this guy. But that's what he is. He's old school, and he's got grit, and it shows because he's a distinguished gentleman with the silver hair.
It's nice. You know, he knows how to play baseball the right way, I guess. The right way.
Not the Cardinal way, right way.
The right way. And I think maybe that's rubbing off on some of the other players, possibly.
Good. Some of these kids need a kicking butt.
Has it rubbed off on Puig?
He does hustle. He has not gotten in any legal trouble this season.
He hasn't. He does hustle. He does have. No one said that Puig doesn't have heart or doesn't hustle.
I'm just saying he can't hit for shit.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm just saying he can't hit.
He just can't.
He also can't hit a cuff, man.
Yeah, well, he's better at that this year. So what about Carlos Gonzalez? I'm throwing that out there. Trade possibility.
He's 30 years old as well, and it's like he's a young guy. He's got a ton of talent. This guy can hit bombs. The Rockies would not trade him to us. We would have to.
He'd be our best hitter in our lineup.
Well, right, and like we were talking off camera earlier about how Gonzalez is struggling this year because not Carlos Gonzalez, but Adrian Gonzalez. Agon is struggling this year, struggling by his standards.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't have anyone in the lineup behind him to protect him, and the shift. The shift's such bullshit.
Yeah.
But with Carlos Gonzalez batting behind him. You put Cargo as the number 4 guy, Gonzo's the number 3 guy. I think we can catch fire, but I think the Rockies would be stupid to trade him to us. So if they did trade him to us, we would severely have to overpay. But by overpay, Friedman should just whip out the checkbook and go, how many zeros? Wait, what's your payroll this year? We can cover it.
Yeah. I want him on our team. That's the guy who if I'm looking at possible outfielders for this mix for this team, he's athletic. He's still relatively young. He just turned 30.
Yeah,
he's
just
not
turned 30.
old. He can still play 4 or 5 more years at a top level, possibly. And he's the guy's a lefty, he hits for power, drives and runs, and he hits well at Dodger Stadium. Someone like Jay Bruce, we've talked about him. He hits shit at Dodger Stadium. He's like batting under 200. But then we have another Yasmani Grandal at Dodger Stadium who can't hit at Dodger Stadium either.
But Yasmani's hitting 350 in the month of July. I'm under the impression...
Most of that's on the road, though.
Yeah, but I'm under the impression that he's been hurt, and now that he's not hurt, because let's be real. This motherfucker's hitting 210.
Yeah.
He's hitting 210. Yeah. But in the month of July, he's hitting 350.
Awesome.
And it's like, okay, great. So you're doing something right.
Yeah. Well, he's not playing at Dodger Stadium.
That too, because we've been on the road a lot.
So let's talk about our final thing. So Kershaw, we kind of skirted around a little bit, but
we've talked about Kershaw on every segment of the show.
I know, but I got to talk about what if he doesn't come back?
He will come back. Don't say that. You're going to raise my anxiety. Like now I'm going to be driving home and I'm going to be out hunting Pokemon and I'm going to be so worried about Kershaw.
I mean, we're screwed if he doesn't. We can't keep up this 13-6 record without Kershaw.
What if it's like that year that Carpenter went down for the Cardinals and then they won the World Series?
But they had Wainwright.
Yeah, but then I would feel so bad for Kershaw if he went down for the rest of the year and we won the World Series.
Dude, he'd come back for the playoffs. He's not going to be down for the whole. They're not going to shut him down for the whole season.
I know, but he's such a nice guy. I feel bad for him.
Yeah, that would be terrible.
That would suck.
There's no way we win the World Series without Kershaw.
That hurts my heart.
Zero possibility. We won't even we'll drop down into third place if we lose Kershaw all the way through the rest of the season.
Nah, he'll be back. I'm not even worried.
Really?
He'll be back.
Okay. All right. What's our gift of the day?
All right, guys. Our gift of the day, Pokemon's everywhere, and Michael Page knocks out Cyborg by really fracturing his entire skull, and then runs over to his corner, puts on a Pokemon hat, and throws a Pokeball at Cyborg as Cyborg is literally out cold on the mat.
Is that appropriate?
I think it's funny as shit. Michael Page, this guy comes up with the wackiest things, and his fighting style is so crazy, but I thought it was funny as shit. I go, wait, did that really just happen? That was awesome.
Did Cyborg think that was funny?
No, he was out cold.
Okay, so he didn't know it.
He didn't know a Pokeball was thrown at him. He was out cold.
Okay, good. So wait a minute. Wait. His skull was caved in completely?
Yeah, well, like the entire forehead was just like indented in, like the knee hit him in the face, and he was done.
And he didn't die?
No, but he's in the hospital.
Did the Pokemon ball do any damage?
No, I don't think so.
Good.
All right, guys. But anyways, that's been our show. You can find us on iTunes, SoundCloud. You're obviously watching us on the YouTube. You can check out our new website next month. You can suck us on Twitter at Best Coast Show. That's been our show, and you guys have a good night.